Here we have a Sony Bravia 60-inch LCD TV. This TV has the no signal input on the HDMI ports. Component ports are working. So I followed all the procedures for resetting the HDMI ports that are found online, doing a factory reset, unplugging the system. However, HDMI ports still do not work. So I have obtained a replacement card, and we're going to install it today. Alright, so this TV has 20 screws that has to be removed going around the outside edges. You also have 2 screws located in the middle in these little squares here, and 1 screw over by the card that we're going to be replacing, which is right here. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and remove the stand. It's removed through 4 screws that hold it in, here and here. Ensure when you're removing the screws that you take note of the sizes. The screws that are along the bottom on the back, there's 7 of them. They are a different size than the rest of the screws that are going across the top and the middle and the sides. An easy way to keep track of these is actually to put them in a Ziploc bag, a small sandwich bag, and just mark them. Mark the quantity of the screws on the bag so that way you make sure you don't lose anything when you go to put it back together. Alright, we're now ready to take the back cover off of the TV. To do this, first you have to remove the screws that are holding it in. The first step is to remove the 4 stand screws here and here. I've already got these out. Then you're going to remove the 17 small screws going around the edges, starting at the corner, all the way around. You also have 2 screws in the middle, here in this square, here in this square. 1 on the area around your card that you're going to be replacing, and 1 down here next to your power jack, so right down in here. Finally, actually you have 1 more here. It is a separate one by the component end, and then you have your 7 that's running along the bottom, right along the edge here. A good idea whenever you're taking components apart is to make sure that you keep track of your screws. An idea is to put them in just a little Ziploc bag and label where they're coming from. There's my stand screws. There's my 7 back, my bottom ones. The 17 is going around the sides, top, middle, and power, and the 1 component. Every one of these are a different size. That's why it's important to keep them separate. So we're going to go ahead and remove the back. Alright, to remove the back on this TV, you want to just start pulling up in the middle here. Just kind of picking up on it. I've already broke the seal on it. There was actually no breaking incurred, but as I pulled it up, I had a little bit of resistance associated with it. I needed to come over here and just kind of push in on the edge while lifting at the same time. Same on the other side. The other thing that you're going to run into is you have this plate here with the power. So as you pick this thing up, you're going to need to pull it over to the side and let it go through so that way you can pick up on it. Alright, so we'll continue coming up with it. And there we go. It is released on all edges. So now we're going to pull it back and allow the power to come through. And there we go. So this is the inside of this TV. As you can see, there's not a lot. You have your main board and you have your card right here. This is the part that we're going to be replacing today. Alright, as you can see here, our card has several ribbon cables, other components associated with it that are going to be transferred over to our new card. As you can see, they don't come with all the pieces with it. So, most of these are pretty simple to remove. Your main controller going over to your control cable or control board is simply a little pinch on top and a pull. Comes right off. This one is the same way, just a little pinch and a pull. Alright, now your ribbon cables, for this particular kind here, this is a flip-up style, you want to get a little screwdriver, be very gentle, just along the back edge of it. Just kind of pop it up, pry it up a little bit, pop it up, same on this one. There we go, and the ribbon cables will slide right out, slam right on top. This one here is a different design. So this one you come in from the front, and these also pop up. Once again, just be gentle with it. There you go, it's the first one. Second one. You know, just pull the cable out, just let it rest right there, that'll be just fine. Now the last thing that has to be taken off on this is we have this little antenna card. that obviously runs over to your antenna. So that is just a Phillips screw right there, and then we'll be ready to take this card out. Alright, we're almost ready to remove the card. The card itself is held down by 5 screws. You can see here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and this one is an elevated screw here. I'm going to take this out. This was the one that was actually going onto the back plate of the back cover. So we'll remove that, lay them right beside the hole they came out of, and the card lifts right out. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put our new card in place. Go ahead and slide that right in. Make sure we move our ribbon cables. Be gentle with those. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and replace all the mounting screws now. Alright, so we've got all of our mounting screws back in place. Key thing to remember when you're putting your screws back in is to not over tighten so you don't damage the board. Now we're going to go ahead and start reassembling our cables. So I'm going to start with my antenna card. You just push that in and press down. Once you press it down, just line up the screw and tighten down. Once again, remembering not to over tighten. Alright. Ribbon cables are placed in the same way you took them off. You make sure that the ribbon cable door is open. On this one, on the side, you press up, push them in. Just make sure it's all the way seated backwards, and use your screwdriver to gently press down. There you go. Flip this one up. Again, press all the way seated back, press down. Now your ribbon cable is on the other side over here, different design. Remember, flip up from the back. And you want to just be gently pressing them in. There you go. And flip the door down. Same for here. Gently press down. This back in place, and your controller card. Again, pinch the little lever on top. There you go, and press in. You'll hear a click, and there we go. There's all the pieces reassembled. At this point, we will start putting the back on the TV. Alright, when reassembling the TV, you're going to slide it into the top first. What you want to notice here, a little hard to see, down inside here you have a little tab. This little tab is on this side. It's actually several running across the top, and what those correspond to is little tabs here, little cutout grooves located on the top of your TV. So you're going to assemble the top first by lifting and sliding into place, and then walk down the edges till you get to the edge, where you also have a tab on this side. See, there you go. You can kind of see it down in there. And one on this side also. So you'll pinch the edges in a little bit and drop it right down in place. Also remember that you have the power cord that has to come back through. And you'll see that during the assembly phase. Alright, let's go ahead and put this back in place now. Lift up. Let's go ahead and get our power cord through. There we go. Line up the edges. There. Snap into place. Make sure all your ports are lining through here. Everything is lined up. Just walk it down. Alright, TV is reassembled. Power cord is through. All the ports are lined up. So now you can go ahead and put your screws back.